Hey guys, it's time to start Bollocks this evening. We got a very special show for you tonight. We have possibly the most talented person we've ever had in this room.
That's true.
In this room. Definitely the most talented person in the room right now. Right now.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
No
and
doubt.
We're going to do a great interview with Zaza Flamenca. Hopefully my accent didn't slaughter her name the way I normally do everyone else's. So, but we got to pay some bills first.
Okay.
We got to check on Blake, see if he has a pulse back there. Blake, are you conscious?
Yes, I am indeed conscious over here. So I'm working hard, working great.
All right. And what do you have over your shoulder? Just looks like a green screen there.
Yeah, that's my screensaver. I don't have anything up right now.
You don't have anything up because you were working on your tango dance moves for this interview today. So
yes,
hopefully you filmed some of those for us.
No, I did not.
Just put a long stem rose up there, Blake. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. All right. I'm going to start us off with we are in, what's the name of our studio?
It is the Beaux-Arts Ford Studio.
The Beaux-Arts Ford Studio, Beaux-Arts Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Beaux-Arts is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Beaux-Arts Ford Lincoln has been a recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Beaux-Arts Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at beaux-artsford.com.
When your comfort's on the line, trust Powell Heating and Air Conditioning, serving St. Augustine 24/7, 365 days a year with no overtime fees. From expert AC installation and emergency repairs to duct cleaning and routine maintenance, Powell's skilled team and fully stocked 15,000 square foot warehouse are always ready. They service all brands and offer flat rate pricing you can count on. Call 904-794-2665. That's 794-COOL, COOL, or book online today. Powell Heating and Air, your comfort, our promise.
All right, we got to talk about Abear, Kresge & Associates, the best CPAs in town. For trusted financial guidance with personal touch, turn to Abear, Kresge & Associates. Serving St. Augustine since 1989 with over 125 years of combined experience, their team offers expert services in tax planning, estate, and trust work, business valuations, payroll, and more. Whether you're starting a business or planning for the future, they deliver smart, customized solutions that grow with you. Give them a call at 904-460-0747 or abearkresgecpa.com. Abear, Kresge & Associates, where your success is their mission. I got to go see you tomorrow, Billy. Be easy on me. Be easy on me. So he keeps me out of trouble. I mean, my taxes are not easy to do.
I can imagine.
I got a couple businesses in the world.
1 or 7.
Yep.
Established in 2006, Solar Stick is a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs. Right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing.
All right, the other sponsors we got to give shout-outs to, of course, is amazing Meehan's Irish Pub, A.D. Davis Construction, Land Title of America, Kaiser's Deli and Market, A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing, Anastasia Diner, Moultrie Diner, Mr. Electric, St. Augustine, Brightway Insurance, the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, and last but definitely not least, Anastasia Construction Group. Hand me those over. Us talk to this wonderful human being that is joining us.
Absolutely.
And she has an amazing, amazing event coming up, and we got to talk about it. Our guest today is Zaza Flamenca, and I've seen her online, but I've never seen you live, and I have to apologize for that because I hear you on our music report all the time, but I don't get out much. So wonderful to have you in, thank you for coming in and telling us about your event.
Thank you for having me.
So, Zaza, you got to tell us a little bit about you. I read a little bit about you, but the thing that really stood out is you can sing in 10 different languages and you speak 5 different languages.
Yes.
Me and Lenny are trying to get one down.
We're working on English. Yeah.
So what are your 5 languages that you speak?
So I was born in France. My parents are French, so French is my mother tongue.
Okay.
But they moved to Israel when I was very young, so I learned Hebrew. And in Israel, you learn English very young because all the TV shows are Americans in English with subtitles. So I guess I was 10 or 12 years old, and I spoke 3 languages just because it was around me.
Yeah.
And then I moved to New York and I learned Spanish.
Self-defense.
So you moved
Self-defense.
to the U.S. to learn Spanish.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
And I lived in Brazil for a while, so I learned Portuguese. You know, French and Spanish and Portuguese. It's not the same, but it's pretty close.
There's some correlations
Yeah.
with them, and you can kind of go, oh, okay, that has that
And
Latin.
it's actually pretty funny because when I moved to New York, I started to play with an Argentinian guitar player that is coming from New York to play with me at this show. And his English was not good. So he was speaking Spanish with me, and because I lived in Brazil, I could understand between the Portuguese and the French. But I was answering in English, and after a couple of years, I went to Spain on vacation with another friend, and suddenly somebody spoke to me, and I answered, and my friend said, "Wait a minute, you speak Spanish?" So, oh my God, I speak Spanish. It just came out because I said, "Okay, hablo español."
I guess I speak Spanish. I can tell you, we were in Spain in December, and I'm not. I tried Rosetta Stone. I don't know if you know what that is. And
Yeah,
it's
I know.
like trying to learn a language, and I tried Spanish, but my southern accent's so bad. Like Rosetta Stone couldn't pick. I couldn't even get past like Ola. So and I mean, it was painful, and I finally just took off the headset because there's a headset you talk into a little microphone, and then you move on to the next page. I don't think I made it past chapter 2.
Wow.
So I've come to the conclusion that I translate's the way to go for me.
So you're never going to find La Biblioteca.
I don't know what you just said, and say it again, I'll kick it. So
Maybe we should just go to New York for a few months.
Yeah,
That's
Like,
exactly
the
right.
Queens,
Spanish is
Jackson
self-defense there. Yeah, absolutely. You want to get something done, you better learn Spanish.
we were in Barcelona, and my brother-in-law is he lives in Spain, so we had a built-in translator. So it wasn't even like we weren't even forced to speak
yeah.
the language,
Tell me about it.
which probably would have helped a little bit. But so glad to have you in, Lenny. Do you speak any other languages, or what's your next?
No, I can muddle through in Spanish, and I can speak fluent food in French.
Yeah. Okay. So, and like working in a kitchen, I was wondering.
Well, my Spanish is
That's why your Spanish is better. In New York, your Spanish kitchen, you probably had.
Yeah, I can get anything done in a kitchen in Spanish, and a majority of the work done on a construction site in Spanish, because I was project managing a group of very talented Spanish mechanics that were handling construction after Sandy. And I can't go to a movie in Spanish and figure out what's going on, but I can certainly give orders and ask them where the nails, the screws, and the hammers are. And in Spanish, I can get anything done in the kitchen.
See, in Spanish, the only thing I pretty much know is the colors from construction sites.
Right.
No rojo, verde. That's about all I got.
Yeah.
So I got the colors down, like with the painters, and so that's all I got, and that's 100% from construction. So, but you live life. How many different countries have you lived in?
Oh, a lot. I was in Paris and Tel Aviv and São Paulo and Argentina and New York. I lived in London for a while. And I think that's it.
So very cosmopolitan and very big cities.
Yeah. And now I'm here and I love it here. I'm getting old, I guess. I need
So you're just shrinking it down a little bit.
quiet and peaceful, and everybody's nice and everybody drives slow. And I love it.
Yeah. They drive really slow on day like today. It's super rainy out, and we can hear. I don't know if the microphone's picking up the thunder, but it's definitely coming down. So of those countries, which country do you, because you're in St. Augustine now, which country or city do you miss the most?
It's like a bit like what Lenny said. I miss the food in France. The French food is amazing.
Absolutely.
But I miss the art and the nightlife of London or in New York. But then I love Buenos Aires because the tango and the humor of the people is amazing. And now Brazil is another thing. Everybody dance samba all the time and laugh all the time. So every
culture just has its own.
But right now, to be honest, I love it here. And I completely randomly found San Augustine out of nowhere.
Really?
And because during COVID, I was in New York doing live music, and New York completely shut down.
Yeah, it was done, and we benefited from that. We got people like yourself, and it helped our culinary atmosphere
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
true.
in
Yeah,
St.
yeah.
Augustine. I know of at least two New York, well, not counting you.
Right.
I mean, you had already retired here by then.
Yeah, we were down here since 15.
Yeah, so I've known of two New York chefs that came here because they shut down their restaurants.
Yeah.
And they just
Yeah.
they walked away from a business and they just gave back their lease and said, I'm done. And they moved from New York to St. Augustine, which we're very grateful that they're here because they're super talented people like yourself. So when you came from New York to here, what was the growing pains of, because it's a completely different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like I go to New York about every other year, and it's a completely different lifestyle. I only go there for a couple. Actually, I've been the last 3 years, so I only go there for a couple days at a time. But it's a completely different lifestyle. So when you got here, were you like, is everybody in slow motion?
I guess I needed that slow motion because New York, I was there almost 15 years. And I toward the last few years, I was getting, it's too hard. It's, You know, it's too many people and it's too expensive and too smelly and you always like run somewhere and everybody is always like, and during COVID, it did slow down and it was super boring. It's really in the winter. It's cold. Everybody's in there. We're crazy about
Everybody
the
was
mask.
grumpy.
Yeah, well, that's not new in New York.
Yeah.
Right.
And when
Extra grumpy.
Right. Yeah.
But when I came here, I fell in love with the this. It looked like Europe. This town. I don't know how I never heard about it before. My friend lives in Ormond Beach. She invited me during COVID, and I came to visit her. And her neighbor mentioned St. Augustine because of the live music, and I came and didn't know where I'm coming. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing! It looked like Spain. And the music I do is very Latin flamenco oriented, and it's perfect here.
Yeah.
And I work a lot. This town welcomed me so beautifully with all my international background and culture, and the music fits perfect. I just loved it.
So did you have a challenge finding that first gig? I mean, because your talent stands out, but usually it's that first breakthrough. What do you remember where your first St. Augustine gig was?
Because in New York, with Gabriel, this musician that is coming, we were a little famous. We played at BB King and we played at Café Wa, the Blue Note. And when everything shut down, I came here and I started from zero. Nobody knew me. So I really went,
I know that feeling.
restaurant by restaurant saying, play music. And the first two places that gave us a chance, and it's because of the Latin culture and connection, it was Casa Maya and Odd Birds. Because the owners are, I think Casa Maya is Mexican and Cesar is from Venezuela. And you just need one place because we studied and people say, oh, this is different, this is interesting, I know this guy and I know this and this and this. And it takes time and effort, but it works.
And St. Augustine gets a tremendous amount of international visitors, primarily from, every place, but Spain in particular and Latin American countries because of the connection from when St. Augustine was a Spanish city in development when it was first founded. So there's a tremendous amount of reciprocation between sister cities in Spain and Latin America. And, I think it would bode very well for your clientele. And it would probably make them a little bit less homesick when they came to visit us here.
And I do have to break because a quick announcement if you're watching, just stay where you're at if you're home. There's a flash flood warning in downtown St. Augustine and throughout St. Johns County. So I kind of wanted to give that announcement. It just popped up on my phone, so I didn't want to feel like I was ignoring you guys. But when the alert popped up on my phone, I had to kind of give it some attention.
I think people are going to take that with a little bit more seriousness than they would have last week.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
And as they should.
So, but this lightning and thunder is pretty loud. So tell us about this amazing event you got. It's coming up on the 13th.
Yes, it's Sunday. It's this coming Sunday. And I had the idea of doing it because July 14th is the Bastille Day. It's the beginning of French Revolution, which is the beginning of the end of the monarchy and the democracy. And July 9th, which is today.
Today.
Oh, it's today. 9 de Julio is the day in 1816 Argentina got independence from Spain.
Okay.
And since I'm working a lot with Gabriel, the Argentinian guitar player, we decided to do a show about independence and freedom and combining French chansons like Edith Piaf and Charles Aznavour and Jacques Brel and Argentinian tango, Carlos Gardel, Astor Piazzolla. It's beautiful. And we did a whole show about these two kind of music, which are kind of it's different languages, but the intensity and the passion and the lyrics are really so deep. And in New York, I was an actress. Not only I lived I was like a New York story. I came from France with a student visa to an acting school. I was a waitress in a diner. I was living in a woman residence run by nuns in Chelsea.
Oh, wow.
It was such a
know where that
crazy
is.
story.
Yeah.
But because I was an actress, I made a point of doing all my shows, not only music, but lots of interaction with the audience and background context story about the artist or the song or the era of the song we're playing. And I try to be funny.
You try to be funny. We all try to be funny.
We try to be funny too. Sometimes we
Sometimes it
succeed.
works, sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't. But,
I have a rule about funny.
uh,
There's somebody who's funny, and then there's someone who thinks they're funny. So you just got to figure out which one you are. And even if you think you're funny, you know the other person thinks they're funny and you're funny. So
and I think I'm funny.
yeah.
But people laugh. That's my. Actually, when I invite my friends to my show, I said one rule, golden rule: if you come to my show, you laugh. Even if it's not funny, you laugh.
Right, you're on the payroll. Do it right. Yeah, help a sister out. Right.
But this is so it's a very fun. I did lots of concerts in the past, but it's like we're all in the place together to have fun. It's not like this is the audience and we are the artist and no. It's all together to just learn about history and music and artists and have a good time.
Is it the first time you two have brought these two cultures together for an event?
In San Agustin, yes.
Okay.
Actually, we did it in New York, but not in this format. And we're going to do it in New York again in August 21st and 28th, in a very nice little cabaret called Pangea. And the show on Sunday is kind of the preview
Okay.
for the New York show, which is going to be...
So if some of the people listening today aren't familiar, where's the show going to be if they want to come and see you?
The show is at the First Congregation, Sons of Israel, which is the oldest synagogue. I think I thought it was Florida, but you said maybe in America.
It's one of the older ones. It's not the oldest. The oldest one is in Rhode Island.
But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous historic building at the end of Cordoba Street, and the acoustic is amazing because they have 2 floors, like a
Yeah.
balcony,
Yeah.
and it's
With
small.
sundown,
And
yeah.
I played there before as part of Romanza Festival, so we're gonna do it there. It's Sunday at 7 p.m. We're gonna have wine and empanada that Gabriel himself is gonna make. The Argentinian guitar player is a man of multi skills.
So he's making the empanadas himself.
Yeah, he made it a point.
It's an eat and greet with
Right.
And he said, nobody can play tango or make empanada if you're not Argentinian.
Okay.
So, okay, we'll...
That saves me from embarrassing myself on the dance floor.
you
Besides,
can try.
The thorns always get me when I put the long stem rose in my teeth. So.
It's going to be a very beautiful show. I'm excited. I love it. It's going to be elegant and classy and cultural. And
So is the format like you're leaning into the French side and he's leaning into the Argentina side, or are you guys crossing over?
no, we played together. We played
Oh, you
together.
together? Oh,
we
wow.
played together years. When I was in New York, he was my music partner. We played in cruise ships, in venues. They say you need to do 30,000 hours of something to master. We did it.
yeah.
So I'm gonna sing in French and play, and he's the lead guitar, and then he's gonna do some instrumental tango, and I'm going to do second guitar for him. It's the two of us all along playing and singing.
And the show starts at what time on Sunday?
It starts at 7. Doors
Okay.
open at 6.
Okay.
It's good to come early for the wine and the empanadas. We're gonna also screen a little bit of a movie of Edith Piaf and Carlos Gardel, to set the obvious. It's old stuff I'm talking,
Yes.
like right, the 30s, 40s, old-fashioned, super artistic movies. And we'll have an intermission in between. And I always stay after the shows to talk to the people. I'm always curious to hear what they have to say, and I receive all those compliments saying it was great.
Yeah, and Blake is putting it up on the screen right now for us.
Yes.
With the details, and Blake also, I think we have a flyer of where they can purchase tickets online.
Yep.
Also, so if you can put that up. So you mentioned you also were an actor. Okay. When you left, were you in France or were you in Israel when you came to the United States?
I was in Paris.
You were in Paris. So when you left Paris, you were going to be this world famous actor.
Yeah.
What was your first break in acting? when you got over here?
It was hard because I have an accent. I try to get rid of it. I don't think I have, but people say I do, so I guess. And so every audition I was doing was very, my character has to be a foreigner. And because I had a student visa and then an artist visa, I couldn't be part of the union for Broadway because you need to be American or green card, and it's so complicated. So I was a bit, but I did some movies. And then somebody in New York, a friend of mine, she said that many French restaurants are looking for French singers in New York. And I said, I can do that. I used to sing a little bit in Paris. So I grabbed the guitar, I knew 3 chords. I'm talking like 2010, years ago. I said, I can do that. I can do it. So my strategy was that I'm going to play my little songs on my 3 chords, and I'm going to make the people love me because I'm funny. And I'm cute, and I'm French, and I was younger. And that's what I say, if people like you, whatever you do, they're going to think it's great. So that was like my plan, and it worked. And I kept with the plan of just like really connect with the audience, and then they like you, and you sound better.
And I do a lot of different shows and stuff like that. And I found out the meaner I am to the people, the more the more they like it.
Really?
I know.
I'm so mean to Lenny when he comes to my shows. He was sitting up front last night, so it was on him.
I mean, here.
Here it's the give and take. It's the give and take. So,
Get him, Rebecca.
But yeah, my significant other gets on to me all the time about being too mean to Lenny, but that's when the ratings go up.
I know. Well, trust me. Why do you think I incite you?
You do a wonderful job at that.
That's exactly right.
You do a wonderful job at that. So we talked about a lot of passion in your music and stuff. Which genre makes you feel the most like being you? Is there one genre that you just kind of lean into and you're like, yeah, that inner superhero that everyone has inside of them?
I love playing flamenco and rumba, like Gypsy Kings and stuff, because it's fire.
Yeah.
Especially with Gabriel, and I used to play with another guitar player. He's local. His name is Jonathan Dodson, and we really also connect. And so that's like, you feel the fire. It's like, and people dance. So I love that, but in the same times, people say that when I sing in French, it's the most emotional because it's my mother tongue, and I guess I feel the emotion, but people say it's really, really like powerful. So, and I love bossa nova from Brazil because it's beautiful, and I love it all.
So when you sing in English, does your accent diminish or does it go away?
I think so.
I know people that sing in other languages, and they take on the accent of the song because they learned it from their ear.
I think when I sing in English, I don't have an accent.
Right, and
I don't think I have an accent at all. But people say
we'll talk about that later. But yeah, but a lot of people who are not native English speakers, when they sing in English, you can't tell they speak in perfect English.
Yeah.
And it's hard to discern. And then when you go to interview them afterwards or talk to them after the fact, their natural accent comes out, and it's like, I think that's a great talent to have, honestly.
But it's like sounds, because I sing in Russian. I started to learn Russian because I really love it. But I sing in Russian, and I sing in Arabic, and I sing in Serbian, and all those languages that I don't speak yet.
Right.
And people say that my accent is great in those languages, but I think it's like sounds. We learn them as like music, not like words or like you study today. Oh, wow. It's just like continuity of sounds, and you imitate what you hear from the original artist.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we don't have an accent.
All right, so you've been at this for a long time. You said you've been doing this like 15 to 20 years, correct? Who is the most talented person you've shared the stage with?
Ooh. Well, first of all, Gabriel.
I was going to say, if he's listening, it better be Gabriel right about now.
I don't think he
no
listens.
empanadas for you. Right.
But first of all, he taught me everything, like really. When I met him in New York, I was acting, singing, like whatever. And then he was randomly playing in the same place I was playing, and we played together, and it was a super connection, musical connection. Because music is like, it's not enough to be good. You need to really connect musically with the person you play with, to go together, to have this symbiosis. And I really had it with him, so I started to play a lot with him. And then at some point I said, okay, I need to know what I'm doing here. So I went to Queen's College, and I did a master's in music, Queen's College. I didn't want to do a master. I wanted to do a bachelor because I had no idea, but I had a bachelor in economics from my previous life. And they said, no, we put you for a master because it was so hard. I cried every day. But Gabriel helped me. So he was very helpful. But I used to also play with it's an Argentinian Latin singer. His name is Leo Dan. He died this year in January, and he had a Latin Grammy.
Okay.
And I started as his background chorist. I was the only not Latin there in the band, so they called me the French girl, La Francesa. And he really loved me, and he made me do his opening act because there are so many songs that are half French, half Spanish. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, sometimes 10,000 people, and I'm coming, just me. And it was super scary, but it was a very good experience. And he was amazing.
Yeah, and I believe in people having rhythms and working together. Like
Yeah.
Lenny and I have a rhythm, even though people think I'm mean to him. but we have a rhythm. He knows I love him. I know he loves me. And,
Absolutely.
And there's certain rhythms that you connect with, and I assume in music it's even more intense.
Yeah.
Because it stands out, not just because of the music, but because of the art and because of everything.
The emotion,
Right.
But a lot of people that do music like yourself are either very passionate art lovers, or they're also artists in other ways. Are you an artist in any other way besides on the music side? Besides, you can act, obviously, but I didn't know if you grew up a dancer that became an actress that became a singer.
I used to paint when I was younger, and I loved it. You lose yourself for hours
Right. It's
painting.
therapeutic,
and
for sure.
I draw and paint. Dancing, no, I do dance salsa pretty good, but that's it.
Yeah. So have you put down the brush or
No?
No,
I didn't pick it up again. I have no time. I don't even have time to act. I said maybe I'm gonna do, because I miss acting. I was good, even in my accent. And
the accent you don't have.
That I don't have, exactly. But I have no time. I'm super busy with my music, which is great. It's a good thing, because I always like a new promotion and the website and contracts and sending emails and it's great. I love it.
All right, and now I'm going to throw it to Blake, because I'm trying to keep up with the comments. And if anyone has any comments or any questions they would like us to ask, please put it in the comments. But I'm going to reiterate, Blake, can you put up the flyer again, the where, what, when, and all that? And the event is on July 13th.
It's
Sunday.
Sunday.
And it's kind of a freedom, and I'm going to let you say exactly the title of it.
It's called Chansons Tango, which is like French chanson and Argentinian tango.
Chanson Tango?
Yeah, it's good.
Song and dance.
Yeah.
That's right?
Right?
Americanized,
Right.
yeah.
Song and dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, if you go to my website, which is zazaflamenca.com, there is a pop-up with where to buy ticket and all the informations of when and where and what and how. And
Yeah. And when I do the music report and I'm reading your name, it takes everything in my power not to say flamenco with an O, and it's ka.
flamenca.
Ka. And I catch myself. I think I've read it like 4 or 5 times, and I messed it up like 3. So I hopefully this interview helps me.
There you go.
Hopefully.
It's practice. It's all a matter of practice.
Yeah.
So it's Spanish lesson. It's A because it's feminine. I'm a woman, so flamenca.
Right.
Yeah.
If I was a boy.
Yeah, I had Latin in high school because I have dyslexia, so I was like trying to help myself on the verbal
English,
side.
sure.
And so the A sound is feminine in Latin, and what I is kind of a plural type situation.
Yeah, that's more like
and,
Italian. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I learned all those things. Like US is more masculine.